my scanner. Today, I'm going to draw what we refer to in the Seneca language as gajit das. So I'm going to start by just using this marker, and I'm going to kind of lay out the rough shape of it. And you know, if you want to follow along, you can do these shapes like this. And I'm going to take and make, first of all, the shape of his head and his beak. So you get an idea by looking at that where I'm going with it. So now I'm going to make him with his wings in a position that's called mantling. And mantling is a position that the hawks will use and get in when they're feeding, when they're eating. And it's where they get on the ground after they've made a kill, and they take their wings and they use them to cover up and to hide what their kill is. So you can see that I'm taking a little bit of time here, and I'm doing these rough shapes like this. So if you kind of follow along as I'm laying this out, and that's just kind of a general shape for him. And I think I'm going to use a straight edge. I'm going to use another paper kind of as a straight edge here. And I'm going to make a line going across here like a guideline. And I don't want to get real dark with it, but I think I'm going to go like this. And let's see, I think I'll use a colored pencil for this part, and I'm going to just draw this line. Oops, lightly like that. So you see how I use that for my edge. Okay, so I got that one on. So I'm going to make another one here. And I'm going to make some different images on the shape of this gajit das. And I don't know what kind of art you want to call it, maybe modern art, or I don't know. But it's something that I tried one time and I liked it. So I like to use a technique like this because I can get a number of ideas onto my art all at the same time. So I'm making these lines going across. Oops. Might have been better to have a ruler for that. But going across like this in this way. So you see that band that I put on there to show and to kind of highlight this gajit das. Now a gajit das in English is a hawk. And the reason I'm choosing to do the artwork of showing a hawk is because it's my clan. So my family is symbolized by this clan, by this bird. And that means that I look at the hawks and the other people in the clan as my relatives as well as the birds. So now I'm going to draw this line here. And I'm going to kind of separate I'm going to kind of sketch his eye in there. And then I'm going to show a little bit of detail of his beak. And so, taking my time, I can get those kind of details like that in there. I don't know if you can see it real well, so I'm going to darken it up. And I like to take my time with a image sometimes and to sometimes start off light and add more details as I go and as I work along. So I'm going to use this kind of pen, almost like a marker pen type deal, and I'm going to darken this in. And I'm going to show his eye like that. See how I left that spot open? That's so that it shows kind of like a shine. Maybe I'll make some little marks on it, showing the markings that they have. I'll draw the other side of his beak. Maybe I'm gonna kind of color the very tip of his beak in dark like that. So now we'll put the outside of his beak, and we have some detail to his head. Well, I think what I'd like to do is to show a different scene on the body of this Kajit Das. And what I like sometimes is I like to show bright colors. So I'm just going to kind of sketch in this shape using kind of squiggly like lines like that. We'll do an orange one like that next to it. We'll make a little bit smaller one, shorter anyways. We'll make it like this, red. And I'm going to start to color it in a little bit using this colored pencil. And show the fall colors like that. And I'm not going to get real hard with it and darken it in. And I think over on this orange one, on the bottom of it, I'm gonna make some red coloration here. And I will go back and color this one in a little bit. And go with this orange. So you see how taking your time a little bit, you can have good control of your color. Maybe you want to have a little bit of a color change in its look like that. There we go. So we got a red. Let's put a little bit of orange on this too. Now we're going to brighten it up a little bit. And let's put some yellow on both. So you see how that adds to it, mixing a little bit of yellow in. Maybe I'm going to put it on top like that. Give it that fiery autumn color. Over here now, I'm going to make a yellow tree. Red, orange, and yellow. And I hope that you know that the orange color comes from mixing colors. It comes from mixing yellow and red. So they can work together. Now I'll put it in, fire in some orange as the bottom part of these leaf cluster. Maybe I'll outline it like that. So you see how it gives it a certain look. And gives it a certain way. All right, now I'm going to take my marker again, and I'm just going to come back in here, and I'm going to do some lines to show the branches. See that? Make the branches coming up. And we didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it still has a good, nice, natural look like that. Just making those breaks in the lines too, that shows that there's leaves in front of it. So I've been lucky and paid attention to nature and paid attention to rough shapes of things sometimes, and you know, it helps out. So that's gives it a really nice look.